Magic Makers. I'm Mom Virella.
I'm Yukita Cosplay.
And I'm CJ Peterson. Welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Get your wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good. And speaking of up to no good, we have a very special guest who we will get to in just a moment. This weekend and the past weekend was East Texas
Comic-Con.
I saw that.
We had lots of fun. I was an elf and I got myself in lots of elf type mischief. Mombi popped up there with Jazz and got into some mischief herself as Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas on Saturday. Jeremy was there, or no, Jeremy was not there. But hello, Jeremy.
Jeremy Vanders Wands, creator of magical wands since last year.
Yes, amazing wands. But his wife saved my life, and we will talk more about that on our pajama weekend, which is the 29th of July. So yes, Shabri, thank you so much. You are my lifesaver, and we will talk, like I said, we'll mention and we'll talk about that during the pajama party on the 29th. The 1 hour special pajama party, do not miss it. It is coming up. And next week we will have Allison Lee Rosenfeld, who is tons of characters. Some of you may recognize Strawberry Shortcake, Polly Pocket.
Strawberry Shortcake.
For that one. In the meantime, we have today a very unique guest. As an author, I am super excited to talk to her about it. Mombi Rella brought her to us, and so I'm going to have her go ahead and introduce. But first of all, Brescia says hello. I don't know if you caught that. I said that she was my lifesaver this weekend, and we're going to be talking about you on the 29th during the pajama party. So make sure to tune in and catch that. So, Mombi, would you like to introduce our guest and explain the uniqueness of her?
I would love to. I actually believe we met at Terrorfest. She had the underspace there that was inside at Southern Star Brewery. And I just fell in love with these. She makes these amazing themed scents that bring the stories from books that you love and stuff to life. And I love that so much. It is amazing. And so now she has opened an official store in downtown Conroe. So I absolutely had to get her to join us and tell us about what she does. So.
Yay. Well, I'm Keely. I have Get Fictional. It is a store, kind of an eclectic store. I make candles. It's mostly candles with a bookish twist. I lean towards the darker side of fiction, whether it's horror, fantasy, things like that. And the whole point of my candles is to when you light them and you're reading a book or watching a movie or you're just immersing yourself in fiction, it's supposed to take you deeper. It's supposed to create this whole atmosphere and just intensify it, so to speak. Just whatever you're reading, like I do a lot of the custom candles for indie authors. And so their candle has scents that are from the book, and when you're reading the book, you light it, and it just creates the whole setting of the book, creates the atmosphere for you.
So, a question: as an author, how can an author get in touch with you to potentially kind of hook that up, so to speak?
They can message me on Instagram. They can email me. It's on my website, getfictional.com. They can get in touch with me there, and we can start brainstorming. I'm working with a few authors right now. We brainstorm scents, we brainstorm design, things like that. And it takes me a couple of weeks to get it done, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun working with authors, and I think I'm working on like 5 different ones right now, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, if they do it, can the author buy the candles from you and then be able to sell them with their books as well, sort of deal? So it's kind of like they're promoting, your Get Fictional store as well, but they're also selling the candles with their books when they go to shows.
Absolutely. I've had some authors, it's exclusive to them. I don't sell them myself. They purchase them and it's their candle. So that way, it's their way to promote their book.
So do you sell them in the stores as well?
I can if they choose to. So like, for example, I have Adrienne Rennick. She's a local author here, and I did a custom candle for her. And so I also have her book in the store, and she gave me permission to sell the candle in the store. And then she's also purchased some as well to help promote her book when she goes to signings. And she's also coming out with her new book next month. So like having the candle with her for upcoming signings and events was a big deal. And so she's been doing that.
So you can kind of like almost work together in that area.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Geek Cred says, hey, well, Brisha wants to know, do you do specific genres?
When it comes to customs, I'm not genre specific. I have done everything from custom candles for horror authors to romance authors to children book authors. I mean, I'm open to anything. If I just really want to help promote the writing world, and this is my way of being able to do that. And it doesn't matter what genre. I tend to prefer like the darker genres, but I want to promote writing in any form. So romance, of course, children's books, of course, anything.
Okay, so
Yukita looks like she's gonna burst. So I think we need to go to Yukita next.
go.
Oh my gosh. Ah! Sorry. I'm sorry for all the headphone users. I have burning questions, literally.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So I just want to know off the top of my head, because my curiosity has truly piqued.
Mhm.
If you could create a scent for, let's say, Harry Potter, any of the Harry Potter books, what would you put in it?
Oh gosh. So when I think Harry Potter, I don't know. I immediately think like pumpkins and candlelight and fire and like just warmth, cozy vibes. I actually did create some scents that were inspired by Harry Potter. It's called my Atmosphere collection, and it was, the World of Wizardry box. And so I had 4 different scents, and Hagrid's hut, or the Keeper's hut, was my favorite. And it had this amazing spiced toasted pumpkin scent with some clove and nutmeg, but it wasn't like that sweet pumpkin scent, it's that spicy pumpkin scent and a little bit of like smokiness for the candle. And was my favorite. I felt like that epitomized Harry Potter for me.
Oh my goodness. Yes. That. And I don't know if this is Mombi's idea too, but I'm going to ask it anyway. There is a book series called Sweet Tea Witches.
Ooh.
If you could create a scent for that,
Sweet.
what would you put in it? I'm just so curious.
Sweet Tea Witches, just based on the title. I mean, obviously you got to have some tea. So there's this lovely black tea blend that I use, and it's kind of herbal, but a little bit sweet. But then it also has bitterness, not in a bad way, but in that way, like strong black tea has, And so I'd probably do that and maybe blend it with, you're thinking sweet, so maybe some kind of like scone type sugary scent. Maybe just keep that really subtle though, so it's just sort of an after, like it just comes up like as the bottom note instead of the top note. So yeah, so the tea and then a little bit of sugar on the end.
I love that. Thank you for answering my burning question.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So quick revert back to the Harry Potter before we jump over to Mommy. What would you do for the houses?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I mean, Ravenclaw would obviously have to be, parchment. You'd want the scent of a library, in my opinion.
Smells so good.
Yeah. Slytherin. Ooh. One of the scents that I have blended before comes to mind is like blackcurrant and absinthe. I feel like that.
Mombi sounds like she'd almost be all over that one.
Yeah, like it's like kind of sweet, but also a little bit dark. Also, what I mean.
I like that she didn't go fruit, because I was like, a lot of people will go, oh, we'd go green apple, and I'm like, what? Really? Come on, that's cheating.
No, I think the blackcurrant is like a dark fruit, and then you got the absinthe, so you've got that sweetness, and then
I like that.
Gryffindor. Something not too bright because it's, courage, right? I might go with like some kind of Taraka orange and then like some cinnamon and clove in there to round out the citrus. So it's kind of bright, but it's also got the heaviness of the spices to bring out that feeling of courage, right? Maybe.
Yes.
And then Hufflepuff is tough for me. I feel like they don't get enough representation.
Absolute facts.
Like everybody's focused on the other 3 houses, and they and so it's like hard. But I might do something like floral with them and herbal because they're maybe not like create like sunflower floral, not like rose floral.
No, I like that.
Yeah, like a sunflower floral and some herbs, like some basil in there or something.
Oh
like
yeah. Ooh.
That's
yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait to get those candles.
All right, but these sound amazing. I love your thoughts on this stuff. So now I want to know more about your store. Tell us a little bit, like when we go to your store, what are we going to see? What's our experience going to be there?
Well, it's a really small store. It just remember that. So I can't fit a whole lot in there at the moment, but I like it that way. It makes it very cozy. So you're going to walk in and you're going to see, the first thing you're going to see is this big centerpiece, and it's got candles and books on it. And everything's sort of just sort of displayed like a bookshelf in your home. I mean, that's sort of how I want it to feel when you walk in, is like you can stay a while. So there's books from local authors. I've got the candles displayed by the books and sort of dispersed throughout. I've got the indie authors. I have a wax melt bar, and that's the shelf, the big shelf. I have a wax melt bar also where people can pick, and mix and match their scents, so they can pick the squares, and so they can sort of test out the scents before they commit to it. I've got independent artists in there with their bookmarks and some art prints. And just trying to bring a mix of stuff in there. That all revolves around fiction. Yeah, that's my Midnight Manor collection. It's kind of a witchy summer collection. And the whole thought behind that one was, sort of being in a cabin in the woods. And there's a garden with lots of herbs and fireflies, and a kitchen where the herbs are hanging down. Like, that's the whole imagery that I had in my head when I created that collection.
That looks delicious.
I love your logo or your tagline, when fiction comes to light.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's sort of what I hope to do, is bring it to light.
Oh, you definitely have. I can tell.
Oh, thank you. I try. Really.
Also, why did they look like mini pints of ice cream for a second? Am I hungry?
I think you're hungry.
I was like, yes, let me get a bite of those.
I would totally eat a bite of werewolf. Wait,
Were
no.
you not eating before we started? Eating before we started.
Oh, I stay hungry.
Stay thirsty, my
I mean, if you saw me at, I think, Comic Conroe that one time, like I was taking a box of snacks with me. Yeah,
Dude,
they said free. I said free indeed.
Didn't I share like the first? I remember I shared it the first pop culture though. I think like there was snacks at one point being handed out towards the end of the day, and like you were gonna lose a finger if you tried to grab one out of that box.
They said free.
So let's do some quick catch up on the comments. Bree says it should be food for Hufflepuffs, so maybe we need
Pie.
I can make a note of that.
Like a pie.
Transfer Yukita over to Hufflepuff, apparently, because food. Bree says, "Hey, ladies, hey." And Bree says Jeremy Vander's road trip, and he says, "Yep,
Absolutely."
Sounds great.
So yeah, no, it sounds really cool, and I'm looking at it, and yeah, your website looks awesome. But yeah, the concept is amazing, and the way your mind works regarding the books is fascinating. And this,
I am a big candle girl, so I'm excited for this so much. I love candles.
Yeah,
so what did you come up with the concept?
Well, I started this a little over 8 years ago, actually, and I actually started with a book blog. I was doing book reviews all the time. And then I lived in Maine at the time I started making candles, and it was a really long winter, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, I got to do something, active. And so I had a candle making kit for my birthday, and I was like, okay, let's just try this. And that was that. I tried to make them, and I just fell in love with it. And then eventually it was like, well, let's blend these two loves of mine together, books and making candles. So it just sort of happened. And it took me about a year to get my formula right with the candles. And then once I got that right, I just started combining all of that and making candles out of books, because when I'm reading, and then when I was making the candles, I kept having these images in my head. That's the way my brain works. It's like a whole scene. And I would just blend the scents based on that scene. And it seemed to work pretty well, and people seemed to like it. So I just went with it and just kept going. And I was online for a long time, maybe for 8 years, and built my community through, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. And then now I was able to open a storefront. I started doing markets here in Texas when I moved back here a few years ago. So I was doing that for about a year and a half, and just kind of grew my network locally, and it was just so much fun. And when I found the opportunity I saw that for rent sign on Main Street in Conroe, I was like, let's do this. Let's take that next step. And
Awesome. I love it.
I'm going. Okay. Sounds good.
You know what it makes me think of, actually, a little bit? Did you ever watch, what is the name of that? The Good Witch. There was this movie series.
Yep.
I love this. And it's giving Bell Book and Candle vibes, right? Like, right?
Yes.
I
Years. I'll have to rewatch that show just for that.
I love those movies and the show.
We love books.
There's a couple questions. But one thing I would like to add for Ravenclaw, I would add like hot chocolate or something, because you're reading a book, you tend to have hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Ooh, real quick. Add to mine. Gryffindor, add some cinnamon.
Yes.
Cinnamon
says, what is the scent base? Is it essential oils?
I don't use essential oils simply because sometimes when you're burning essential oils, that can actually be harmful. So I do use phthalate-free fragrance oils. I make sure that all my fragrance oils are phthalate-free. I only buy from companies that create clean fragrance oils, but I stay away from essential oils because I have dogs and I have a son, and sometimes when those get in touch with a flame, their whole composition changes, and it can actually be more harmful than just synthetic fragrance oils.
But
that's good to know.
That's so good.
She loves The Good Witch and
all the movies.
And we have a quick congratulations to the blind SOB. He says he had 500,000 views on his YouTube channel. He's crazy excited about it. And so congratulations to the blind SOB. Yay!
Congratulations. That's so awesome. Love it.
That was like super awesome. So congratulations. Super excited for you. Yay!
Good job, boy. Good job.
Awesome. So it sounds really cool. Actually, I kind of wish I was a little closer.
I've been wanting to go make a trip out there, but so I looked up the hours before I got in touch with Keely to find out for sure, because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to come up this week, and I realized she's closed Monday through Wednesday. Isn't that's the dates, right?
Yeah, I have to be, because I have to have production days because I'm making everything myself. So at this moment.
Sunday is the day she is open. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, we're going. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to extend my hours down the road. Thank you.
Diana Wemblish says, congratulations on the new shop. Love all your products.
Thank
you. What are your hours?
So I'm open Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and then Sunday from 12 to 4.
Okay. And where are you located?
I'm at 223 North Main Street in Conroe, Texas. I'm across from the Crichton Theater for anybody.
I was going to say, in relation to the Crichton, where is that? Because everyone thinks of the
Right.
I know exactly where you are. I will be there this weekend.
I'll be there.
I actually am going to probably go to Conroe this weekend because they're doing the Elder Emos, and I wanted to do a little behind the scenes. So I wanted to go do a little behind the scenes because I'm not going to be able to stay for the whole thing, which I hate. I would love to go, and I already talked to them. They said go ahead and come up, and they'll share out some stuff as they're getting set up or as it begins or whatever. I'm not sure which one, but so I'll be out there. So yes, Yukita, let us go.
We're going.
I'm actually going to be giving away.
Yes, Bree, come. Yes.
Now, Keely, you mentioned before the show that you are accepting local authors' consignment. What does that mean?
So I have a few local authors signed up for consignment. So what we do, I have a form that local authors can fill out and just send me your info on your book, and I can go through and, just make sure that we'll be a good fit for each other to collaborate. I want to make sure that we can, promote to the best of our ability. And so I've gotten a few local authors in there, such as April Henley, Oscar Whitings. I've got Adrienne Rennick, and it's just to help the local authors. There's Readers Night downtown also. So it's just, I've met a lot of them through that. That's a market that I used to work every month. Mm-hmm. So if they would like to possibly have their book in the store, they can shoot me an email. You can find it on my website or message me on Instagram. And we can talk about possibly, putting up a few books in the store and seeing how it goes.
Okay. And her website is really easy. It's getfictional.com. That's GETFICTIONAL.com. We're kind of heading toward the end, but I usually ask an advice question, but I'm not 100% sure how to ask the advice question on this one because there's just so many different aspects to it.
So, how about this? If someone else was so inspired as to put two combinations of their favorite hobbies together, how would you go about them starting to make an entrepreneurship about it?
Good question.
See, I wish I was because my whole collaboration and the way it worked out for me, I just did it because I wanted to create. I just found things. I took two things that I loved, and I love creating things, and I just went for it. And I would just say, there's no end to the possibilities of what you can create. I mean, people tell me all the time, this is an interesting combination. This is kind of weird. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but it works, So, I mean, I have so much fun with it, and I put my heart and soul into it. So if you find something that you love to do, I mean, just put your heart and soul into it and give it all you got and show people, don't be afraid to show people what you're doing, even if it is a little strange. Maybe that's what we need more of, is some of, people's strange ideas and come out with some different combinations and, bring things together. Books and candles, you light a candle when you're reading a book. So it wasn't that much of a stretch, but I've seen people, combine, a friend of mine, she makes loose leaf tea, and now she's starting to work with authors after I've spoken with her about, I create custom candles. So now she's creating custom teas. And so she's bringing those two worlds together. So it's there's no end, there's no, limit to what you can do. Just go for it and have an open mind and network and talk to people, because that's where those collaborations and that working together, that's where all the ideas are really going to start coming together.
I would add to that, find yourself a Ravenclaw and a creative friend. And I say creative, and I kind of put the space there because there are creatives out there. They're not necessarily all Ravenclaws. Mamba's a creative. She's a Slytherin. Yukita's a creative. She's a Gryffindor. There are creatives that are not necessarily put into a block, but find yourself a creative.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
absolutely.
Because sometimes we can't necessarily describe how we do it.
Yeah.
We just do it. Because someone goes, how do you do this? And I'm just like, I just
do it. Yeah.
You just do it.
What do you mean by how?
They're like someone tried to ask me to break down like how do I create my cosplays, and I was like, I thrift, I dye if it isn't the right color, and I sew it if it's not the right size, and make it fit my body, and then I go.
Yeah, you just do it.
Literally how I need Dolores.
Find yourself a creative friend. There are creatives there, and we're many shapes and sizes.
Absolutely.
Bree says something about, do you take custom requests? And she said something about she heard about a giveaway, but I didn't hear that. So I'm not sure about that. Did I miss that?
Oh, we were talking about emo night, and I have a couple of tickets to give away for that. So I will be
What is our return program? Oh, apparently she's on your website somewhere.
Okay, well, she knows. Yeah, she's becoming the
Bree is on your website right now.
Apparently, I missed that one too. So let's talk. Keep going.
So I do take custom requests. I think that was the first question she asked. And then I do have a jar return program because I have a rewards program on my website. You can earn points that go towards coupons that you can use through my website. And the jar return program is part of that. So if you return jars to me for me to reuse, you get points per size jar, and those get added to your account, and you can use those towards coupons off on your next order.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, Mom, you can use the comments.
I can't. I'm laughing over here because I'm seeing the comments.
Okay, you got to see them though. Okay, so the Blind Osophy says he's a muggle. Jeremy says she's shopping. Blind Osophy says thank you for all your support. Blind Osophy, we love you, dude. But yeah, Jeremy says, oh no, she's shopping.
That had me laughing. I was like, oh no.
Because I can see her laugh. She has access to the comments, so she can see them. I can see her laughing back there, so I knew
Yes. I'll be honest though. I've been. If you were watching the numbers of hits on the site, because I've been going through looking. I'm like, oh, you can see the links of sense. Oh, it's my.
Yep.
There you go.
Quick question while she's fixing her technical difficulty. Do you take only jars that people have purchased from you, or do you take any candle, jar, glass, container?
I've taken jars from customers who they were from a different company, but they're the same style that I use, the amber jars or the black jars. So I've
testing. Looks like it's working.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry. I didn't realize I had unmuted it. I had pulled it up to look at it. My bad.
You're good.
I was like, what's wrong with it?
I have a bunch of candle jars. So I was like,
what is the return jar program?
Yes.
So you can, once you finish your candle, once it's burned all the way down and you don't quite know what to do with your jar, you can mail it back to me. If you click on, there's a menu option on my website, jar return program. It kind of tells you where to send it, how many points each size jar is worth. And once I get them, I process that order or that box of jars, and then I will add the points manually to your account, and you can use those towards coupons. And it's through the rewards program. When you sign up on my website, when you open an account, you are automatically added to the rewards program, and they add up.
I have a feeling you're going to get a lot of people signing up for accounts. Like, probably 4, 5, maybe even 6 by the time we're done here. Wiggles fan Wiggles is joining us. Works Hard says Mommy's getting her silly on.
It's been a long week already.
Would you like to re-ask your question? We have 1 minute left.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't know if you keep track of how many hits you get on your website, but like 20 in the last week have probably all been me, because I realize you've got a breakdown of some of the scents that go with the different ones. And I love kind of picturing what they must be like for each different character, each different story. And I'm a classic Monsters fan, so I love going through those especially. One quick question though. Are you bringing back the beard oils?
Oh, yes. They're in the shop, actually. I've got to make more tomorrow. So,
awesome.
Yep, they will be there. Absolutely.
Oh, we will also be there. Count us. Yes.
Like, I'm going shopping Saturday. and Conroe.
Yes, every board, programs, and candles, perfect combination. Keely, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, as I said, it is a pre-recorded, so we are not ignoring you, but it will be Allison Lee Rosenfeld, who you may know some of her characters, such as Strawberry Shortcake and Polly Pocket, but trust me, it is nowhere limited to that. Her characters.
Oh my gosh, she has so many characters.
Trust me. The reel I'm sending out is still not even touching it. Check out the thumbnail on YouTube to see like tons of her characters. She's an amazing lady. I'm looking forward to it. Same time, same sandbox. We'll check you then. Mombi, get your wands to the ready.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure to smash that thumbs up real quick before you go and share this out so more people can come meet us up there this Saturday. Let's go shopping together. Come on. And make sure that you're following CJ Peterson on her TikTok and YouTube, as well as me, Mombi Rella, and follow them geeks on YouTube and Yukita on the Instagrams, but also Get Fictional has all the things as well and so many great details on our website. So definitely check that out. And till this weekend when y'all come shopping with us. Mischief managed. Bye.